Once upon a time, in a small village nestled between rolling hills and a sparkling river, there lived a farmer named Mansa. His farm was one of the most fertile in the region. Every season, his fields would yield a bountiful harvest of wheat, corn, and vegetables. The trees on his land were heavy with fruits like apples, oranges, and peaches. Mansa, however, was not satisfied with his abundance. He always wanted more, believing that the more he had, the happier and wealthier he would become. Mansa's lifestyle revolved around farming, but it was not the simple, peaceful life one might imagine for a farmer. He worked his fields from dawn until dusk, always looking for ways to increase his yield. He hired extra workers, expanded his farmland, and purchased the best tools and seeds. Yet, despite his success, Mansa was never content. His fellow villagers admired his hard work, but they also noticed his growing greed. "You already have so much, Mansa," his neighbor Kwame once said. "Why do you keep working yourself to the bone? You could enjoy life a little more, spend time with your family, and rest," but Mansa would wave them off, saying, "The more I work, the more I'll have. Soon, I will be the wealthiest man in the village, and then I will be happy." Mansa's lifestyle became even more extreme when he started hoarding his produce. While other farmers would sell their goods at the market or share them with neighbors during times of need, Mansa kept everything for himself. His family was affected by his greed too. Mansa's wife, Amma, and their two children used to enjoy spending time together on the farm. They would laugh, play in the fields, and help with the harvest. But as Mansa's obsession with accumulating wealth grew, he stopped spending time with them. Amma pleaded with him to slow down. "Mansa, look around you," she said one evening. "We have more than enough. Our children need your time, not just your money. We miss you," but Mansa wouldn't listen. "Amma, I'm doing this for us, for our future. Soon, we'll be the richest family in the village, and then we can enjoy life as we please." Amma sighed and returned to their small house, disappointed that Mansa couldn't see what truly mattered. The once joyful home was now filled with silence, except for the sounds of Mansa's footsteps as he paced late into the night, planning how to make even more money. One day, a traveling merchant came to the village. He was known for selling exotic goods from faraway lands, and people flocked to see what he had brought this time. The merchant, noticing the villagers' excitement, announced that he had a special offer. "I have in my possession a magical seed," the merchant declared. "This seed, when planted, will grow into a tree that bears golden fruit. Whoever owns this tree will be the wealthiest person for miles around." Mansa's eyes gleamed at the thought of golden fruit. He rushed to the merchant and said, "I want that seed." "Name your price," the merchant, seeing Mansa's eagerness, grinned. "It is not cheap, my friend. The price is everything you have." Mansa was shocked. "Everything? You want all of my crops, my land, and my animals in exchange for one seed?" The merchant nodded. "Yes, but think of the fortune you'll have when the tree grows. You will never need to work again." Mansa hesitated for a moment, but his greed quickly overpowered his reason. He agreed to the trade, believing that the golden fruit would make him richer than he had ever imagined. The merchant handed him the small seed, and Mansa, now without his farm or possessions, went home to plant it. He carefully placed the seed in the richest soil he could find and watered it, eagerly waiting for the magical tree to grow. Days passed, then weeks, and the seed remained a small sprout. Mansa was confused. "Why isn't it growing faster?" he muttered to himself. As time went on, Mansa's desperation grew. He had given up everything for the promise of golden fruit, but the tree barely grew at all. His once bountiful barns were now empty, and without his crops, he had nothing to sell at the market. He had to rely on the kindness of his neighbors, who still remembered how he had hoarded his goods. In the end, Mansa realized that his greed had cost him everything. The seed never grew into a magical tree, and he was left with nothing but regret. He had traded a prosperous farm, a loving family, and a happy life for a dream of endless wealth that never came true. Mansa finally understood that true wealth wasn't measured by how much one had but by the relationships and the peace of mind that comes from appreciating life's simple pleasures. He returned to his family, humbled and ashamed, and began rebuilding his farm. This time, Mansa worked not for greed, but for love and the well-being of his family. Though his farm was smaller and his lifestyle more modest, Mansa found joy and contentment in what he had, knowing that he was truly rich in all the ways that mattered. And so, Mansa, the once greedy farmer, learned that the pursuit of wealth, without balance or appreciation for life's true riches, leads to emptiness. From then on, he cherished every moment with his family and friends, grateful for the lesson he had learned.